What up, Whiskey Ginger fans? Welcome back to the show. If it's your first time joining us, like I say, please tell a friend. Spread the word. That's how we keep this thing moving along. I am so happy about this week's guest. Sal Vulcano is one of my favorite human beings to talk to. He's got a smile that's infectious. He's hilarious. He's such a sweet, cool dude. I love him very much. If you want to find out more about me, AndrewSantino.com. Not going on any more tour dates anytime soon until next year. We're trying to figure it out. Hopefully the vax is out there working, baby. If you're looking for merch, go to AndrewSantinoStore.com. Right down below, if you're at YouTube, you can look. There's shirts, there's this hat, there's rocks, glasses, all sorts of cool stuff to pick up at AndrewSantinoStore.com. And lastly, Patreon.com/WhiskeyGingerPodcast is where you can find the Patreon. That's where we do one-on-one Cheeto chats, Zooms with the top tier, all sorts of fun discounts, codes, stuff like that. Trying to get more involved on there and bring you some super secret episodes that we're going to try to do in 2021. So the Patreon is incredible. Please check that out as well. Appreciate ya. Whiskey Ginger is supported by Squarespace. Guys, I've talked about Squarespace before in the past. If you're looking to blog or publish content, or you've got an idea, or you have an item you want to sell, Squarespace is the best place to get it done. I've used Squarespace for my own site. It's incredible. They have templates that are already set out for you to manipulate in your own way, make it easy for you. I'm not a smart man. You might be a smart person, but it's good for all of us, okay? It was very easy to use for me, which I enjoyed because I'm not so good on the technologies. But they have 24/7 award-winning customer support, which is great when you're confused. You let them know. They'll tell you how to fix it. It's analytics that help you grow your business in real time. Squarespace is committing to customize your look to your wants or needs. And they really are making you make yourself look good, baby. Easily create a website all by yourself. Go over to squarespace.com/whiskey for a free trial. When you're ready to launch, use the offer code WHISKEY. Save yourself 10% your first purchase of a website or domain.
In here, we pour whiskey, 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 whiskey.
You're that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Whiskey Ginger. My guest today is one of my favorite people on earth. I say that for all my guests, but I mean it once again today. It's Sal Vulcano.
Hello,
Vulcano.
sir.
Cheers to you, brother. Cheers.
Came prepared.
Cheers. Oh, you did?
Yeah, good to see you. Good to talk to you. Like, I haven't seen you in a while. We haven't really
Long
in a
time.
while, but you're one of my faves, and I always wish we hung out and I got to see you more. So we'll fix.
Same, man. Well, you're all the way across the country, and right now we're not allowed to go anywhere. So unless you want to do like a meetup somewhere in the middle of the country and tell nobody, you and I just get a hotel in Missouri or something. Is that maybe on the docket? Do you think we could do it or
This
no?
is going to be the worst joke you've ever said because I'm the guy that will follow through with that, and you will
Okay.
be on the fucking side of the road, and it might not even be fun because movie theaters aren't even open, and I don't know what we're going to do.
What do you mean? We'll just hang out in the hotel and talk for hours and hours.
And not record it. Yes, like
Yeah.
people used to.
Yeah, like humans used to
Dude,
do.
let's hang out. We record it.
Yeah, well, no, I want to hang out. Do you mind if I have 3 or 4 cameramen and doing the sound and everything? That's become the new generation of I mean, look, like I just put up a clip that, like it's so funny to see how these worlds have molded. Like Jake Paul and Logan Paul, all these kid YouTube guys, now they're boxers and they're calling, like he called out Conor McGregor. Did you see this? He wants to fight. Yeah.
I don't know much of those guys. I know they're like the most famous people in the world. But actually, I don't know much about them except that I was on the phone call with Tim Dillon the other day.
Yeah.
And apparently, like they all like they're in the same circles now, which is hysterical to me.
Yeah, Tim has involved himself in the fanciest underbelly of Hollywood. He likes, do you know what I mean? Like he's not going out to dinner with high profile names of Hollywood. He likes the gritty, young, super fast, super rich, super hot right now. He loves those kids, man. He's obsessed with that.
Listen to how you describe them. Who wouldn't? I mean,
yeah, well, dude, I mean that's not my kind of world. I'm more of a stay at home, play with my dog and my old bag kind of guy. I don't like to go out, involve in circle. I'm not a big fan of those things.
You have no idea how close we are.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I'm in pajamas right now. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm 44 years old. You're
good.
I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. You did it. Well, look, and by the way, congrats to you on honestly such a successful career that I think you deserve genuinely. But the other guys that you work with from the show don't deserve it at all, and you know that, and I know that, and that's just
it doesn't even need to be said. It doesn't even need to be said. When I see them, they tell me that.
I know. They go, Sal, thanks for the opportunity, and you say, I'd like you to say it more, to be honest, because you guys don't deserve it.
I do this to them. I go like this.
You bless them? Yeah. God bless. Yeah, you guys now, I swear to God, you guys might as well be, do you own Turner Broadcasting now? Are you, every time?
They're doing well over there. Thank knock on wood. I don't know. We got a few things in the hopper. They're really supportive of us. I don't know.
No, it's been
handing
great,
us the ball, so we just keep running with it.
So when you go down, do you ever go down pre-Pandy? Did you ever go down to Atlanta or anything, and do they treat you like gods? Did you ever go down to like the Turner, headquarters? And
I don't know if I've been to Turner. I mean, because we had our offices at True here in New York. Now they've all melded, so it's like one umbrella of Warner Media, and there is really no. It's all the same chain now, so we're dealing with all new people. But I haven't. But they treat us well.
They do. No, and the thing I want to talk to you about heavy off the top, but get treating well. I don't know if it's you or if you're getting hooked up, but the amount of shoes that you have, bro. Are you getting hooked up, or are you buying some of those?
Dude, I'm fucking buying those, man.
You're buying you're not getting hooked up at all?
Nobody hooks me up, dude.
Wait, why?
I know. I don't know. I've thrown out a net. I've contacted Nike, and I just get back like this BS thing, like, oh, we're not doing that anymore. And I'm like, that's kind of probably a lie. I don't know.
It's totally a lie. I
got into sneakers like 3 years ago. It was actually a function of being on the road all the time and just dying for something else. When I find something that's like interesting to me, I go hard. Right. And I'm like, right away, I'm like, I want to learn everything about it. I want to learn the hit. And I got into it. And I even got, in the beginning, I was even like trading and selling sneakers a little bit for fun. Right. I'll buy, if I get something at like retail and all of a sudden it blows up, it's a hype shoe, but I don't really like it. I'll trade it and I'll buy another one. And I don't really do like that like now, but I don't know. I just kind of like it.
What's the most expensive pair you got?
Okay. So this was a gift, I wouldn't pay this money. I really wouldn't. It was
all right.
But they fluctuate, but I have the Back to the Future mags.
You have the mags.
Yeah.
Do you have the originals or the re-release?
I have the re-release is worth more. I have the originals from 2011. The re-release from 2016 actually sells for higher.
Yeah, why? I don't understand. I've seen that on StockX and all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, so you know this language.
So here's the deal. I used to love shoot. All my habits are kept quiet, except for drinking. Everybody knows. But when it comes to like golf, Ian Edwards was on the phone with Jesus Trejo. He didn't know I took Jesus out to Phoenix and we went golfing. And Ian's known me for 12 years. He was like, I didn't know you golf. It's like, yeah, I just kind of do things quietly on my own. I don't really show much off because I don't really want people to know. I think when you start showing off a lot, no matter what it is, people start to go, look at this guy, huh? He's got all this stuff.
I know. And that's one of the reasons I post my shoes on Instagram, which is probably how you know.
Yeah.
But I do that because
I love it.
My Instagram is bullshit. It's my hotel room views, which are always terrible.
I love it.
Wrestling and like sneakers. It's like I'm a fucking big kid, but like I do it because other sneaker people, when we talk the same language, they appreciate it. I'm not flexing. I'm not a flex guy. No. I have no like real vices. I don't spend money on anything, but sneakers I just really like. I just kind of fucking like them, and so I put them out there, and it's like, there's a community in that, so it's like I just put them out there for that. But man, you just like, if people are looking at that, be like, look at this fucking.
No. They're not. I promise they're not. I have an insecurity. I have such a raging insecurity about owning things or having things and showing them to people.
Me too. But you get that one dick who's like, oh, all right, you're like, okay, we get it. You got like the newest thing. And I'm like, dude, I'm single and I've been working since I'm 14. Right. I could you could have bought this too. I'm not like, I didn't show you my new private plane. Like people are dicks.
But you do have the private jet. You just don't want to show it off to people.
Show it.
Yeah, you don't want to show it. You don't want people to see that. No, but I think So I speak the language because I was into it for a while, and then I gave it up. Then I sold like every shoe I ever had. I probably kept, so here's what I kept. I kept 3 pairs of 11s. I love ones, but I like ones casual. I wear all my shoes.
So ones are my favorite shoe of all time.
By far. They're by far the best.
20 pair, whatever, but like they are, I'm flat-footed to the point where I have orthotics. So like I'm all messed up. Like everything about me is messed up. I have sleep apnea. I have fucking psoriasis sometimes. I have I have flat feet. I'm overweight. I'm all fucked up. But they don't support. Jordans are not comfortable.
Oh, they're terrible. They're terrible. They're dope. They're dope, but the comfortability level is like I play in 11. I've got like I golf. I told you I've got Jordan golf shoes too, and I have the 11s, and they're not comfortable to walk in. If I'm walking the course, can't wear them. If I'm got a golf cart, if we're taking a jet, then I'll wear them. But I kept.
You even call the golf cart the jet.
It's the jet.
You golf a lot, then.
I love golf.
Honestly, jet, dude.
Honestly, when COVID hit, the golf course, I was like, I'll be there every day. I was at one point I was golfing.
It's the safest place on earth.
It was. It seriously. I mean, it was like at one point I was golfing 4 days a week because it was like I couldn't do stand up at night. We were podcasts. You know, me and Bobby's show and this show we do on regimented days. So it was like I wasn't traveling anymore. I wasn't shooting anything. I didn't have anything to do but golf. I was like,
so did you take strokes off your game or no? You did?
Yeah, at one point I got down to like a 7, but now I'm probably back up to
People don't know you golf and you're a 7?
I know. I shouldn't say that cuz now people will know. No, but and then now I'm much closer to a 10. I played yesterday and I shot a 79, so I shot 8 over, which was
amazing.
I mean, a 7, what am I saying? I shot 7 over. Sorry. I shot 7 over 79. But look, it ranges.
How often, it's me and you. Nobody's watching.
That's right.
How authentic is the 79? Did you take a liberty twice?
No, I don't do that, dude. I don't play that game.
Because you're only defeating yourself.
Yeah, I'm a real stickler actually, and I'm a pretty big stickler for the rules. Like when I see guys, look, I always say two off the first tee is fine. If you want to take 2 off the first tee because maybe you didn't warm up or whatever, I excuse it. There's no such thing as mulligans after that. They don't exist. It doesn't exist. You take 2 off the first tee. After that, you got to figure it out. If you hit a ball out, if it's OB, you got to count the stroke. You can't do this like, oh, I can't find it. I'll just drop one. You're like, yeah, but then count it. You know, guys get away with these little tricks where they're like, it was right here, right? It's like, well,
if I go golfing, because I've been golfing for 20 years, but I've done it once a year. Golfed in my life 20 times, never enough, no consistency, never enough to get good. I'm not good at all. I have 2 great golf stories, or golf related things. So speaking of Jordan and golf, I've golfed next. I've watched Jordan golf at my hole that I was at. So
wow.
There was this like charity event in Vegas that we got asked to host for Jeter.
Right. Oh wow.
Because Turner, who were involved, like they were involved with it, and somehow or another we got this invite. It was a dream come true. Wow. So we go out there hosting this thing, and we get to golf. And we get to golf in Vegas at the it's like the best freaking. It's like one of the world's most like top class golf courses.
Well, there's so many out there. There's Cascada. I mean, did you golf Wynn?
You said it. I would know in a second. It's 2 words. Something Springs. No, something. I have the balls in my closet. It's like it's elite. It's like people like you don't understand where you're golfing right.
Right.
We did that whole thing. Anyway, Jordan, it used to be his tournament, and he handed it off to Jeter, but he still played. The rumor I heard is that his wife had enough. That it was like every year that weekend was debauchery. Look, I'm not trying to speak out of turn. Michael Jordan, I know he's watching. Like if you're watching, don't take any offense to this. Yeah. But anyway, Jordan plays through everybody. So every hole, I heard it was 30,000 a hole. Maybe it was 30,000 a game. I heard it was 30,000 a hole, which sounds too rich for anyone else's blood. So maybe it was 30,000.
No, it could have been 30K a hole.
It's $100,000 jet, as you call it.
Mm-hmm. Jet.
It's got his name's ingrained in like the leather and shit. He comes and you step aside, and they play their hole, and I think they're playing best ball. I'm not sure, but like, and they're all like, all the bigwigs in the suits are playing, and I actually snuck my phone out.
Yeah,
I did what I despise every human being on this earth who's ever done to me, but I snuck my phone. It's me. I'm on. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. I'm a Z-list celebrity on Channel 1 Million. Don't record me. I'm a normal person. I feel it's weird. He is the most famous person on the planet. I stuck my phone out and I teeing off. I had video of him teeing off for like $30K. Like
have you shared it?
No, never.
I might make. Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see it. Yeah, I want to see it.
And then my other golf story, and by the way, this tournament was like, and nothing I've ever seen in my life. They wanted it to be light and fun. So like at every hole, there was also like different entertainment. So you can get a haircut and shave at one hole. You can get, dude,
that's insane.
Had massage beds at another hole. And then hole like 7 was a DJ with dancer.
What?
The first year I went 3 years in a row. The first year I went, Norm Macdonald was the host. And I saw him at the DJ hole. And I don't know him, but I love him. And I was so excited to meet him. And, he was blackout drunk. Point where he teed off in front of, it was nerve wracking. If you're not a good golfer, you're teeing off. There's a DJ and everyone's staying there. There's girls and like dancing. And he teed off. He swung and the ball went like one of those things where it goes like behind him to the left.
It goes backwards. Yeah.
He was swaying, looking for it. And everyone was like, oh man, Norm's fucked up.
He's the best.
I was like, hey, Norm. But I saw in his eyes that he was not with us when I said hello to him. He was just not there. Right. Later that night, they have the gala event, and it's like the silent auction, and I think like Ludacris played.
What?
Yeah.
Was this Firefest? Is that what this was? Are you sure this was?
It was like that. When Ja wasn't there.
It was like.
Yeah, it was. So he played, and it's like 500 people, and Ludacris has a lot of hits, by the way.
Oh yeah. But and then Norm is supposed to host that part, and he's late because everyone knows he's wrecked out of his brain. Right.
And I hope not that he's. But then he gets out there and he does Norm, which is what we want, which is what I thought they hired him for. But I don't think that Jeter and the Turn 2 Foundation really knows they don't want the Norm that me and you want.
Right.
He gave the Norm that me and you want. And he was very fast and loose with his vocabulary.
Sure. Right.
And like, it's all people in suits, ex-athletes, people donating millions of dollars. And then like Norm gets off the stage and like he introduces Jeter and Jeter gets up and you hear like everyone murmuring. There's like 70 tables, right? Mm-hmm. And then Jeter he just looks both ways and he goes, someone forgot to tell Norm this was a children's charity. And it just took the air out of the room like a professional. And everyone was crying, laughing. They didn't invite Norm back the next year. They asked us. So I took over the hosting duties because of Norm. I think because he got, who knows, maybe he wasn't available.
Well, these charity events, dude. We've all done them where it's like, I've seen them and I've been a part of them on both sides where you're like, what this guy does. Why would you? Why are you
hiring Gilbert Godfrey to go Affleck when you know he's going to fucking go? They took it away from the guy.
I know.
What are you doing? This is what he's famous for.
It doesn't make any sense to me that they. Well, you know what this reminds me of? I talked about this before, but there's a commercial for like Whirlpool or a washer dryer company, right? And the song they use is ODB. It's "Hey, dirty baby, I got you." But they go, "Baby, I got your laundry. Don't you worry." That's what they say. And I was watching, thinking, how funny is it that they've like adopted this song for their corporate commercial? But the song is about hookers. It's about hookers.
It's unbelievable.
It's like they don't get it.
Anthem of a pimp.
Right. It's a pimp's anthem, and they're like, "I put it on the laundry commercial." It just. Well, these people, they love the idea more than I think they like the product, right? It's like sometimes when people come to comedy shows and they've never been to a show, but they're a fan of you. And then afterwards, if they're like, oh, I guess I just didn't know what to expect. It's like, well, because they don't they don't know. Like, they think they love you, but like they don't know what they're gonna get. They don't know about stand up, and so they talk or they yell, and they're like, I thought we could talk back and forth to you.
Some of the worst things is when like my diehard fans come to see me do comedy. Because it's like, dude, there's a whole world to there's other people on this show. If it's not me, doing a headline, if it's me like at the cellar or something like that, and then they come, they sit right in the front, and then when I get up and walk off, they get up and they try to meet me, and they get up in the middle of the show, and I'm like, guys, you can't do this. Or like the comic before me, I'll be in the back of the room waiting to go on, and like I'll hear someone go like, and they'll talk they'll be doing some crowd work, and then they bring me up. And then they're just like, oh, we're here to see. I'm just like, I can't mix these two fucking worlds, man. I cannot mix these worlds.
Well, it's a bummer because you want the fanship, right? And the fanship is important, and it's great. But it's also, that was something I noticed a lot with Rogan. When I went on the road with Rogan last year, for the couple of years, a lot of times you would get dudes that were acting a fool. Like we were in Austin. We did Cap City. And these guys were acting a fool, man. And, they were bros and obviously hardcore UFC fans, which is great, right? But they don't know comedy shows. And they get angry when you're like, bro, you can't talk. And they're like, why? Why not? And you're like, because this isn't the UFC. You can't yell in the middle of the fight. Like, I'm up there fighting. You can do that. Right. You can do it there. You can't do it here. It's weird to watch when you get so popular, right? You're so popular, and Joe's so popular among so many different factions of people that it's weird to bring them in the same room sometimes because they just don't know how to act. It's not really their fault. They don't know. Like they're not privy to it.
A lot of times it's just misguided. It's not coming from a bad place. But then it's like you have to speak, like it reflects on you. Like I don't want fucking comics being like, oh, fucking his crowd is here. Like it's gonna, like, you know what I mean? But I don't know how to reconcile it. So I started I never announce.
Oh, right. Never. Unless you're on tour.
Oh, on tour, yeah. But like my local spots, like not my nightly spots. I just, if I can help it, nothing.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in LA that do that too. Cause it gets, it gets hard, right? Like Ali Wong often stopped, a lot of people stopped putting their name up because it was tough. It was a tough balance, especially if they're just working out. If they're just working out stuff, they don't want that.
That's another thing. It's like these people come, right? They've been watching me for X amount of years. I play myself. They have this bond because I play myself. And they feel like that's my friend right there. Like I know all about him. You don't talk to me about him. I know him.
Right.
So like you get out there, and then it's also like there's no like, the lay person, the civilian doesn't understand necessarily the process of how we get to an hour or how we get to what we do. Right. So they don't know what working out means. Right. So here they're coming to see TVs, Sal Vulcano. And then, I'm working on jokes and they're just like, like they just don't, they don't.
Yeah. He was okay. I mean, it was a Monday night. It was, 11:45. He just was okay. Yeah, he was okay.
They'll always tell you. They're like, you were good. The guy before you and the girl after you were great.
Great. They killed.
I'm like, dude, the guy before me's been doing that set for 15 years, bro.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's so many of those people when you're like, yeah, no, I could tell you all those jokes right now because I've heard them 1,000 fucking times. Have you stayed in New York the whole time?
The whole time meaning...
This whole pandemic.
Oh, I haven't left. I have not left. I my last road gig was like March or late February or early March. And then March 12th, I remember my show got shut down at that point, and I have gone nowhere. And I am someone I do two, between the guys and my solo, I do 2 tours a year, like bus tours. And then it's every other weekend minimum for most of the year. Wow. So I'm doing like 80 cities a year sometimes. And, I have not, that's been my past like 5 years for sure, but 8 years with the guys. Yeah. And I have not been on a plane in 9 months. It's actually very refreshing.
Yeah. Well, the plane, yeah.
I'm missing shows. I'm like missing being on stage, but I'm not missing the fucking rat race of it. Like
the travel part is the worst part, man. That's by far the most like agonizing. That's the thing that they're really paying you for is to travel. Cause you're like, when I get there, I'm having the most fun. getting there and dealing with all that other shit in between. You're like, oh, this is where it's costly, both physically and mentally. I mean, people don't really realize when you're jumping around like we were at one point. I was in a blur. It was a daze. It was like city.
Days of the week mean nothing.
Nothing.
Hours of the day mean nothing.
Nothing.
Like it means it's all one big like it just melds together. There's been times where I'm like, where am I again? Like I don't even.
Yeah, there's most recently this past year, last year, I when I crossed into the new year and I started this new tour this year, with January, February, March. It was so bang, bang, bang different cities that I mistakenly twice was talking on a podcast about where I was. And in my mind, I was sure that I was in Madison, Wisconsin, but I was in Minnesota. Like, I was like, I know I was in Madison.
Where are you from originally?
Chicago.
Oh, yeah, because I just heard that. Just now, I just heard that when you said
Madison, Wisconsin. Yeah.
Wisconsin and
Minnesota. Yeah.
I've known that about you, maybe. I'm sorry.
No, you know what? Because I've lived in LA I've been out here. I started out here. So when people say, they're like, oh, you're an LA guy. It's like, yeah, I'm born and raised in Chicago, but I've been doing comedy out here since 2006.
You didn't do comedy in Chicago first?
Nope. Never. No.
So did you move to LA to do comedy, or did you move to LA and then you started comedy?
So I moved after I graduated college in 2006. I got in a U-Haul and I moved here to do comedy. I was like, I'm gonna move to LA just to do comedy because I thought if I go back to Chicago, I'm done for. I knew I wouldn't have done it. I knew I would have gotten lazy and complacent, and I just wouldn't have gotten as many spots because I just wouldn't have cared. Because friends, I would have probably hung out with all my old friends, and No, you're right. There's a lot of distractions. There's your whole life is there. Your whole life is there. You kind of almost have to separate yourself a little bit so you can just focus on, what you need to focus on. I mean, for me, that was the solution because I knew if I was in Chicago, and then the other option was to go to New York, and I was like, I grew up in cold weather. I want to go sit in the sun for a couple of years, and it lasted.
I get that
till now.
I get that. You talk about like just being like successful and blowing up, dude. You're killing it.
I'm doing okay. Life's okay. I would love to feel it.
I turn on things and you're in it, and I'm just like, oh, holy shit, dude. Like, I think when I met you, or maybe after I met you, but I remember you got that. Well, you had a Showtime special, but you were on that show.
I'm dying up here. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Which was huge, and then of course, Dave, which is like, who's not a fan?
It's fun.
I'm watching that with my lady too, and I'm just like, are you? Dude, I'm like, that's my boy right there.
Yeah, man. We've been shooting it.
It's so fun to do that. Are you two now? You shooting two?
We're shooting season 2 now. We're stopping because of the holidays and all this stuff. It's been crazy. Like, have you been shooting? You guys have been shooting at all?
We didn't, and then in October we started up again, and we filmed 3 different shows in that time. We banged out a season of this dinner show that we started from quarantine.
Yeah.
And we banged out a season of a game show that we're doing because that's like you just bang them out 3 a day.
Right.
Started Jokers, which is usually 26 to 31 episodes a season. And it takes like 10 months. And I did 10 episodes in October and November.
Wow.
It spiked again. And it was like spiking plus holiday. So we took a time out. And now if things go okay, we'll start again at the very end of January, which is unprecedented time off for me.
Wow.
So I'm like, I'll take it,
Yeah, I mean, well, look, we had to stop and start because they got to test everybody, and then there was like a perimeter person had COVID. It's like when they're on the outside, and it was all this jumping around.
Blow the whistle.
Oh my God, yeah. And then so now we're stopped again until January 10th or something like that, and then, dude, it's. To be very honest, I've talked candidly about it. It sucks shooting with COVID because everyone is kind of on edge. It's a total lack of the. It's almost like imagine going when you're hanging out in the club, when you're hanging out in the comedy club and you need to take your HIV medicine. You can take. It's at your. Alarm for you.
You know what that is? That's for I'm trying to eat 6 small meals a day. I'm trying to eat 6 small meals a day every 2.5 hours.
Like what? What are you eating? What are you eating now? What are you supposed to be eating now?
So, dude, I started this thing. My cousin lost 70 pounds in like 3.5 months.
70 pounds?
70 pounds, dude. He's 180. He was 250. Big dude. He's like 6'2", 6'3". And so he did this thing where he eats like 5 100 to 150 calorie meals a day, and then one regular meal, like protein and veg. And you can have that meal at any one of the slots of the every 3 hours. I do 2.5. And he did it. And he got heavy. He did heavy into it. He was like weighing shit. And he weighs 70 pounds lighter than he did fucking 4 months ago, dude. So I'm like, let me do that. And then, then it, of course it goes off. And then I continue to talk to you and drink this whiskey.
Good.
And then later I'll go downstairs. I'll make a fucking peanut butter and jelly, which is against the rules. And I'll just say like, that's equals 2.
Right.
It's not doing it.
Well, dude, the diet things I was never good at. I never learned how to do them. I tried one time and I was miserable because my blood sugar, I'm such an asshole when I don't eat. So if I took big gaps of time or changed my meals and lowered the calories and did all that stuff, I would be such a miserable fuck, like a miserable fuck to be around. And my lady was like, you're the worst, dude. Just eat and work out and eat. And she's like, just eat less shit. So I'm trying to eat less bullshit. Like I just try to make sure we don't buy all the shit that I love. Because if it's dude, especially during the pandemic, I didn't hold back. For the first couple of months, I was eating everything. I gained 17 pounds.
Dude, I'm with you. I can't believe you even said that because during this pandemic, I've gained, lost, and gained 21 pounds.
Wow.
I've gone 21 up, 21 down, 21 back up.
You're going to go back down again. We're going to get you down tonight. I promise. Tonight it's going to happen.
God willing.
God willing. You know what's so funny what you said about your cousin with the you can insert one of those big meals a day, right? Like the one main meal. I know me. I would self-manipulate where I would go, I don't know if I ate the big meal today. Did I? Maybe I'll have another one in case. Maybe it was yesterday, Oh,
fuck yeah. That's exactly what I do too. I'm all right, so I'm supposed to have like 100, 150 calories. I take liberties. I'm just take liberties. And again, my girl's like, why don't you just eat 3 square meals, kind of healthy, and just cut the shit? Because my alarm goes off 11:30 a.m. and then she sees me in there like just fucking counting. Like I'm just counting like individual kicks.
Individual beans. Yeah. Little kicks one by one. Life cereal one by one. Yeah. Because she knows it's a pain in the ass. I mean, it's like, but it works, dude. For some people, I mean, like, do you have any exercise regimen too? Like, was he working out or he was just eating better?
No, not any working out.
What?
Which is like this is my kind of thing. But then I tell you, I went hard in the paint with it the first 2 weeks. I lost 9 pounds.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I got this. And then I started being like, well, I'm losing. I'm down 9 pounds in 2 weeks. Let me just I could start taking I'll just do it. And then it just went to shit. And then I just started, and then it's just like fucking eating. I mean, the pandemic, that I thrive in a schedule, in a regimen. Like I said,
totally.
When I'm filming, I get up, I have my meal then. I get to the thing, I do that. And that's when I really drop. But when I'm left alone at home,
it's over.
I'm just thinking of food all day.
Yeah, it's a wrap, dude.
Maybe there's maybe an hour period after I eat that I'm satiated. But 61 minutes later, I'm like thinking of the refrigerator and I'm just self-loathing. I'm like, go ahead, you know you want to go into the kitchen.
Do it.
Piece of shit.
Do it. Who cares? Who's judging? Speaking of food, by the way, and I want to plug 2 things right now for you. You knocked out 2 podcasts at once right now that you're doing. One with the sweet Prince Joe DeRosa, the sweet Prince, and the other one with a known bigot, homophobe, racist, Chris DiStefano. My boy, I love him so much. You have 2 shows right now that you're doing with Joe. It's a food show. I mean, obviously that's the crux of the show. There's more to the show, but that's based on you guys' relationship, healthy or not, with foods. Which is funny because DeRosa I never knew was such a food freak foodie, and then I listened and I was like, oh, he's as obsessed with that as he is about everything else I've ever known the guy. You know?
Yeah, it's less that we're foodies and more that we are just just people that will argue about anything.
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like he's great. For that way. He's a great contrarian. And we always get into these real life, like we just heated debates all the time. We're like, what are we doing? Like, this is a podcast. We can just do this we cracking up. So we're like, that one is just like really fun. It's like we made it like intentionally short. It's like 30, 40 minutes. You know, we just take a poll on Twitter and that determines it. And we just argue. And it's great because we come to the table with the thing, and then we don't need anything else. We just and you just riff it, and it's like the most fun, easy thing.
Right.
People respond to it. So we were talking about doing a podcast for a long time, and then me and Chris, we do the road together the last couple of years. We're really close, and you know, we're just crying, laughing on the road together. And I'm like, we should just do a podcast too. And it was like, all right, let's do it. Perfect time, quarantine, right? I'm home. We just went to my house, and it was like, I don't want to tell people, like, they're both new. So I'm like, go here, go here, go here. It's like, just let's tell them to go one place.
Right.
We just kind of like joined together and made this like YouTube channel that right now we're calling a network called No Presh. So just tell people, go to No Presh on YouTube, find both of them. And it's been fucking good. We're only 3 episodes in, but we have like a bunch banked, and people are responding already. And those two guys, like, we're real friends. The chemistry's been good. So hopefully it's just
it's great. Honestly, the vibe is great. Hey, babe, with you and Chris is great because it's funny to watch Chris in a new environment too. Because like I've seen him with Giannis for so long now, and now
guys finish each other's sentences and stuff.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it's great to watch him now with you because it's like a fun new side of him together and you. It's really fun, man. Honestly, I would tell people to check it out, but I don't want to. So you don't need to go check it out. Oh, it's wonderful. Wait, we got to jump back because we stepped over it. So the most expensive shoe you got are the Air Mags, the Nike Mags, right? Now, but you have to explain to me who bought them for you.
Someone that I work with bought them.
Okay.
Well, they had to connect. They actually had to connect at Nike.
Okay.
And they got them through that way. I don't know. They didn't pay for them in that way.
Right.
I think they paid I think they might have paid like whatever the retail might have been or whatever. It was still an amazing gesture. And I said to them, are you sure you want to do this? Because he said like I paid retail or whatever he paid. And I was like, do you understand what these are worth?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. And I was like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. So I got them.
What do they brag a little bit? What are they worth now? Do you know what they're worth? What the ticker is now?
They're between 11 and 14.
That's insane, man.
I would never put them on. I'm not that guy. Like they're in the box and then in a protective box. They're like, I don't even have them like my shoe closet. They're not even out there. There's some shoes they won't put out in the closet even.
Oh, really?
I'm supposed to wear all those shoes. Well, there's some that just they're too volatile. Like they go up and they're just too crisp and clean. And it's like, when you open a peanut butter and you're just like, I don't know. Like some people enjoy like ruining the top layer. Like I can't get dirt on the bottom of some of these things, man.
Oh man, I stick my dick right in the jar of peanut butter. First thing I do in my house.
Yeah.
It's my house. Yeah. Wait, so there's a few. So for me, that was when my addiction ended, right? That I decided I liked wearing them. I was going to wear all of them. There isn't one shoe in there I don't wear, but I sold off so many. So I'm only left with like 10 shoes maybe that I really love, like the cool gray 11s. I never wear them, but that's not because I want to keep them nice. I don't wear some of them. I just don't wear, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have shoes that I've yet to wear, but not because I won't wear them. There's only like 3 or 4 shoes I won't put on.
Right.
And I tell you, I don't know how well you know these, but I actually put these on and I can't believe I did, but I wanted them too bad. The Tom Sachs Mars Yard.
Oh yeah.
So I bought those. I wear those. I've only worn them like 3 times, and they were all like when I did like press and like TV shows and stuff.
Right. That's an appropriate time because you get picked up in a car, you're on a carpet, you're in a room, like you're not outside in the streets. There's no risk of getting scuffed. You know what I mean? It's like
People don't understand.
No, I know. Scuff level, risk level is like 2. You're close to 0 on that. But when you're out, when people go out and they just wear, if somebody's wearing like those Carolina off-whites or something, and all, I always am like,
I love them. I got those. I wear those. But again, it's got to be special. Another thing is when your friends fucking step on your foot. Like if you're wearing a shoe like that, and people might like not know anything about it, not care, or be like, nice shoe, but they don't get it. I find, and I guess it's because maybe I'm wearing these shoes, so I'm hyper aware, but I find I get stepped on. My fucking feet get stepped on a half a dozen times a day.
Right.
Like my buddy, he steps on my feet all the time to the point where we've almost got into a physical altercation because I'm like, at some point, this is on you. You step on my foot every fucking day.
Right.
And I don't mind. I've let it go for months.
Right.
For a whole solstice, I've let it go. But you now have to do an inventory on yourself and ask yourself, this is aggression.
Right.
You got to stop. Every time you step on me, you dock me $250. You can't be doing this shit.
Well, dude, I noticed that if you're wearing something you love, they're bound to get ruined or fucked up. I have flip flops on, and no one will ever step on your feet. You know what I mean? But for some reason, you put on a patent leather loafer, you're done. You're done. It's over. It's a wrap. I don't know why that is. It's something in the universe. It's like for me, I love cars. I love cars, and like I know they're a waste of money, and I am so particular. My car is disgustingly clean. It's I get made fun of by my friends and my old lady. It's gross. They're like, this is gross. Like it smells clean. Like it smells new. I think
we maybe should date. I don't know.
Well, let's go. We got a meeting.
I have a dust brush in my glove that I use daily. Because I don't want 12 hours of dust accumulation on my day.
Right. Well, dude, I live in LA. It's all dust. Look, do I dust the outside of my car? Yes, of course I do. Dude, it's something that it's also my dad worked in the automotive industry, the aftermarket industry, and like I think he was really particular about. He always used to say, he was like, people don't wash their cars anymore. Nobody cares about their cars. And while that may be true, people don't. I still wash my car by hand. I wash my car, and I always get looks, and the neighbors, they're, oh, come wash mine when you're done. Like, yeah, ha, 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 But I love.
Enjoy it. Is it cathartic a little bit? It's like a little.
I love it. I love it. I put in the headphones.
It's not, and it's not going to take that long. But then when you're done, talk to me about the satisfaction. Say a few words about it.
Ooh, my God! Like
talk to me about the feeling that you feel.
I would rather when I'm drying off the lines in my car feels better than sex with my wife. 100%. Drying off.
I thought you may go there because they were in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, they are. They are. Look. If she could blow me while I'm drying off my car, top of the mountain.
Just blow your brains out after that.
Top of the mountain. That's it. No, I love it. I love it because it's there's something so satisfying. The phrase mise en place. You know what that means? You ever heard that, mise en place?
I feel like I'm not cultured now that
I just learned it. I'm not a smart person either, but my friend is a chef, and mise en place is a chef term. It means everything in its place. But mise en place, it literally means that, everything in its place. But it's a reference to chefs. Mise en place is like setting up everything for the kitchen to be perfectly ready, right? Like certain knives go in certain places. Everything is ready for the cook, and that's mise en place. And like I'm obsessed with that. And when he told me what that meant, I was like, that's my whole life, dude. I yell at my wife if there's shoes by the door because I'm like, mise en place, where do those go? Those don't go by the door, do they? I mean, I'm a psycho with it.
I'm going to start doing that. I love the term. I'm going to look it up.
It's mise en place.
This is how bad I am because I have OCD, but like not OCD like, I have OCD. Like people say I have ADHD because I have crazy severe ADHD and I have crazy OCD.
Yeah.
So they go hand in hand. I have a carpet in my bedroom that I vacuum it like every couple of days because I want it to get the perfect lines. And I just want it to look like pristine, like when I got it.
Yep.
And then this is how sick I am. Then I kind of don't go in my room because I don't want to leave footprints on the perfect lines that I did.
100%.
Fucking Christopher Mintz-Plasse right there with my car.
If I Christopher Mintz-Plasse all day in my house. If I see a pillow that looks like it should be just a little bit up on the thing, I put it right up on the couch. If it's just a little bit low on the sag, I prop it right where it's supposed to go. It's obsessive.
I'm forever fluffing pillows. I'm forever fluffing them. Here's another thing. I have this little chandelier that hangs over my dining room table. It's a circle. And I need it to be perfectly asymmetrical, lengthwise and widthwise. And so what I do is, this is what of a nutcase I am. You'll find me doing this 5 times a day.
Yeah.
I go and the legs of the table are equidistant. So I take the 2 chairs in the middle and I push them toward the 2 legs until they hit both legs, so that I know that the space between the two chairs is dead center on that table. And then I run my hand dead center and I raise my hand slowly up to the circle and I make sure it slices it dead in the middle. And if it doesn't, I will stay there for 10, 20 minutes, moving the fucking table back and forth, just trying to get the circle dead to center in my dining room table. This is no way to live. I understand.
Yeah, no, it is. This is Mintz-Plasse.
It's Mintz-Plasse to cute.
By the way, I want to see that. If I could record watching you do that, just with like beautiful music playing in the background of you trying to readjust your table constantly, I can watch that on loop on YouTube, because that's OCD people getting off. That's OCD porn, is you trying to perfect. I mean, you've seen these videos on, like, oddly satisfying. You know what that is, right? It's all over.
Oh my God, I can't get enough of it.
I'm obsessed.
Enough of it.
I'm obsessed.
I'll sit there in silence, dude. I swear to God, I can't stop scrolling.
There's a guy that does. He does, and he has. He has really nice hands, like beautiful hands, like really, he's got like beautiful chocolate skin, this black dude's beautiful big hand, and he takes stuff and he scrapes things off the top, like foam or little tiny rubber balls out of oh, bro, it's so gross and annoying that I love it. And because my wife is like, why are you watching? It's so weird to watch that. And I'm like, you don't get it. You just don't get it. There's something in it. Looks like it works. Like, oh, it's meant to be,
Yeah. So that's probably, we have some type of similar
disease. Yeah, we're sick.
Disease. I called it a genetic trait, but it's a disease.
Well, because like, was your old man, was your dad very like militant with stuff, or no? Were your parents like clean the house type of stuff?
Yeah. My mom right now. I don't care what. Let's go. You knock on my mom's door. It's 3 a.m. She's not expecting you.
Right.
You go in there. You take a sandwich. You throw it right on the floor. I'm telling you right now, you have zero barrier to entry. You go right to that sandwich, you pick it up, and you eat it. You're not getting a speck. My mom wakes up, cleans, and goes to bed. Somewhere in my mom's life, she decided that her sole purpose was to just clean her home, and that's it. Like, I get her on the phone. What are you doing cleaning? I got to go while I'm cleaning. All right, I got to go and clean. What'd you do today? Clean. And I get there, and it's like I go in a place like, you might think you're clean, right? But every once in a while, you think, oh man, I don't dust behind there. I go in our house. I'll run my finger somewhere, like you would never believe, like behind the fridge. Right. And not a speck of dust. And I'm just like, Mom, this is how you're choosing to live your life. I love you, but this is over the top.
I'd love to see your mom just shimmy, your tiny mom shimmying out a big fucking fridge every 2 days just to get behind it by herself.
In here, we pour whiskey.
No days wasted. I'm here to talk to you about a product that I absolutely love. DHM DETOX is phenomenal. I just got another package in the mail once again. Look, if you're someone like me that likes to have a couple of sip-saps, and by the way, the holidays are coming, so people are going to be sipping a lot more than usual. What you need is some nutrients to get them toxins out of your blood. Everyone always says, oh, the next day I feel terrible. It's because I didn't drink enough water. Yeah, you might have not drank enough water, but also you got toxins in your bloodstream. You need to clean that out and feel good and healthy. DHM DETOX uses science to help boost your body's natural response to alcohol and break down those toxins that are already swimming around inside you. Enjoy your holiday drinks this year and get back to doing what you love the next day without feeling awful. Okay, forget that Sunday feeling of like, what am I going to eat that's greasy just to get over this awful, terrible feeling. DHM DETOX has new hydration replenishers. It's an electrolyte drink that they just launched. It's delicious. Look, the flavors are so good, and it does feel good inside of your body. Your body will thank you, I promise you. DHM DETOX is so good to feel good the next day because we're all trying to have some holiday cheers. I've got you guys. I've got my Whisk Ginge peeps. For 20% off your first order and free shipping in the U.S., just head over to nodayswasted.co/whiskey. Use the promo code whiskey at the checkout. That's nodayswasted.co/whiskey for 20% off. Whisk Ginge fans, I know you like to try new stuff. So do I. Screwball whiskey is what I'm pushing right now. This stuff is absolutely delicious. It's incredible. It's the blend of two American favorites, American whiskey and peanut butter flavor, baby. I love them both, and you will too. If you're mixing it with cocktails, throw some Screwball in there. Put something different, huh? You've had the same old fashioned for a long time. Try a new peanut butter old fashioned. Sound good? Put it on some ice cream. That's what I like to do. Throw it in your coffee. Of course, if you're not driving and you're just standing at the house during the pandy hanging out. Drink responsibly, but also have some fun. Introduce yourself and others around you to the black sheep of the whiskey world, Screwball Whiskey, restaurateur and creator Stephen Yang. He fell in love with the taste of peanut butter when he came to America from Cambodia, and he brought us a delicious combination treat here to Southern California that now is available everywhere called Screwball Whiskey. Get your hands on some. Screwball, it's the original and most awarded peanut butter whiskey. It's now available anywhere near you. Pick up Screwball at your local store or get it delivered to your house today. Ready to hashtag get screwed? Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Click on buy now. Please drink responsibly. Advertisement by Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume. It's 70 proof. Drink it up responsibly.
I like gingers.
My house was, because my dad's father was in the military, and I think that influence got in his head, and then it ended up on me somehow, because when I was a kid, I was as messy as any kid, and then as a teenager, something clicked, and it was like I became obsessed. When I got my first car, same thing. I was obsessed with it. And it wasn't a fancy car by any means. Just I was obsessed with keeping it clean. Obsessed. My friends would get in and make fun of me because I wouldn't let them eat or drink in my car. And they were like, you're so annoying. It's like, yeah, but I just, and they're like, this car's not even nice. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. I don't want any food or drink in here.
This is what I say. And so growing up, I would like take care of my toys, like pristine as hell. And my sister wasn't like that. And my mom would be like, she'd take my toys and I get so upset, right? And I'd be like, she's going to ruin my goddamn toys. And what she would do, this son of a bitch, she'd write her name. So my mom never knew who she bought what. If it was unisex, she didn't know whose it belonged to.
Right.
So my sister would take it, of course, my shit. So my sister would write her name on my stuff. And then when I'd be like, that's my shit, she's ruining it, she'd be like, it's mine. And I don't know how this fucking paper thin plan works. But my mom would be like, it's your sister's. I'd be like, she wrote her fucking name on that. But I'm in this room right now upstairs in my house, right? If in this closet that I'm pointing to, I could open this door. I have my original Nintendo.
You do?
My original Genesis, my original GameCube, all those things in the original manufacturer's packaging.
Oh my
in
God.
mint condition. I have every Nintendo game in its original packaging with plastic seal where I just slit the top of it to open up and take the cartridge out.
Yeah.
I have Zelda. I have everything you can imagine. My Nintendo, if I plugged it in right now, no blowing.
No blowing?
Down, on, first shot, 100% of the time.
Sal, no hit,
I should tell
hit.
you a little about me.
No hit, shake.
All you need to know. No hit and shake.
No hit and shake?
Shake. I never met anyone else that didn't have to go push it in, put it to the side, push it down, and just like really hope for good luck.
Dude, you know what? I love you, but genuinely, you're a serial killer. That is what a serial killer. That's fine.
That was $79.99. I bought it at Toys R Us with my confirmation money in 1987. I have the receipt still.
My confirmation money, baby. And you got paid back then. That was big money. That confirmation money was big.
You know what I got with my confirmation money? I got a Nintendo, and I got a replica teen size. It's not a full size. Eddie Van Halen electric guitar and small Gorilla amp to go with it. I bought all that with my confirmation money. And I tell you, I never learned to even a chord. And I have
you still can't play?
Not a chord. I don't even know what a chord is. I say chord because I know that's what that means, but that's not a lick. Whatever you want to call it.
Not a lick, yeah.
But the guitar manifested. It found its destiny because on Jokers, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, I don't remember when, we had to open for the Imagine Dragons, and sold out Jones Beach. It was 14,000 people.
Oh my
and
God.
We were the fourth. It was the third opener. There were two real openers, and then we went on before they went on. They were so kind to let us do this, and it was just me and Joe on the show. It was just like drums and guitar, like the White Stripes, or like,
right.
like Black Keys. And we just went out, and we don't play a lick, and we had to play like a bunch of songs to this crowd that was throwing batteries at us basically by the end of it. But I used the guitar.
You
Guitar
did?
bought
From your confirmation.
my
money.
confirmation. Yes.
What's the biggest crowd that you guys have gotten to play to? I know you did O2. Didn't you do the O2 Arena?
Yes, a few years ago we found our groove and got fortunate and went into the arena market. So
What's the number? What's the number of the O2? Because you guys played the O2 a bunch, right? It's more than once. You did it multiple times, didn't you?
we were we were there for 3 tours.
Wow.
And we played the O2 Arena 7 times.
Wow. How many people are in there, man?
With the stage setup that we have, it was just below 15,000.
Wow. How's that feel?
I can't. It's hard to describe.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
It's hard to describe. It's surreal. It doesn't get old. It's an out of body experience. It's like the first time I stepped on a stage of that magnitude, and it was for us, like it was for me, and I was supposed to. They were there. They bought a ticket for me. It's like, I don't know. Crying before, crying after.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
I did.
It also doesn't feel like I played it.
Right.
'Cause I still go to shows, like comedians, bands at these types of venues myself.
Yeah.
And I'm in the stands and looking, and there's a disconnect. I still look at them like, my God, like this venue, these people, like, look where I'm, like, this is amazing. And I was on the stage. I do it. But when I'm on stage, it's just in a vacuum, it's like the show, my show, right? When it airs, I don't think anything of it because I made it. It's like I'm showing you my video.
Right.
Everything about the show came from me. So it doesn't feel like how we feel, like how you feel when you're on Dave. I would feel way differently if I was on like a show like that, because I'm part of somebody else. I'm in the zeitgeist of other people. Like, it doesn't feel like, will you watch what I did? It feels like, oh shit, I'm on this other. Like, I flip out more when I see myself on like Raw, like in wrestling in the stands, like in the first. I'm like, oh my God, look, it's me. I'm on Raw. I'm in the stands. It's like I get more excited than my own show.
Yeah. I know. I get that. That makes sense. No, that does.
In the venue, it's like, I'm up there and I do the show and I walk off, but I wish I could watch me from, it's just a different feeling,
No, you're right. I was lucky to do a couple arenas with Rogan, and it was indescribable. But like, the reason I ask you is because I'm doing Rogan's show. It's his show, and a lot of his fans knew me because there's a crossover. But for them to come for you, it's just got to feel. That's a thing that it's fascinating to me, because to watch all those people, the way that they're looking, 10,000 people like staring at him, it's something to think. It's just something fascinating to me. It's indescribable, because you're like, they all came out to watch you talk. It's fucking crazy.
Well, and I feel it at every venue, really. I mean, this is still unbelievable, but like Radio City, like the first time we played Radio City, I took the train there and I walked in the front door. And before I walked in the front door, I stood outside of Radio City and I videotaped it, and I just literally just fucking cried for like 5 minutes straight. But that was with the guys. And like me, I've slowly graduated doing stand up, and I've done, C and B rooms and A rooms, and then small theaters. And even now, when I am going to a theater that the guys and I played like 8 years ago, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm in here myself. And it's like, even if it's just like 1,000, 1,200, 1,800, whatever it is, I'm just like, I can't believe that people are getting babysitters and paying a parking garage,
right?
Meeting their friends for their annual meetup and going to dinner, and it just somehow ending up, and I'm at the middle of that is something I'll never get used to. And it's something that it's like, I don't know, it's so special. Like, so few of us get to experience. Fuck the theater, even like the comedy club. Like when you sell out a weekend, or even not even sell out, it doesn't even matter. You're playing the comedy club for the weekend, and people are coming there. They're basing their plans around you.
Right.
You know, like how many comics are there? There's so many, but like how many comics are there really? Like, are there like how many working, touring, headlining? How many are there? Like few hundred?
I think Neil Brennan and I talked about this one time. He said there was just over 200 is what he guessed. He goes, I bet you there's like 225. I go, really? That's it? He goes, yeah, there's probably just below 250 working comics. And he was doing the math on like how many people could be at what weekends and what clubs. And he's talking about just the idea of like how statistically, based on how many weekends and how many clubs average are A clubs and how many people get to do it, a couple hundred maybe. Yeah.
I mean, doesn't that blow your balls off?
Yeah, it's when I think about it, it makes.
There's 8 billion, there's 7.5 billion people on the earth.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
People in the United States, we're of 250 people that get to do that.
It is weird. When I think about it, it gives me the creeps. I don't like it, if I think about it too much. It's kind of like when you sell out your first show. It gives you the creeps because you're like, whoa, oh my God, there's all the humans are here. It's a weird feeling, man. It's like
you catch yourself on stage. I mean, it doesn't happen a lot if you I'm dialed in, but like maybe after, but like sometimes like right before I'm going, even up on like just a spot, you ever catch yourself and go like, what the fuck is my life?
Yeah. All the time.
I wrote some ramblings. I'm gonna get on this soapbox, and people are coming to me for entertainment.
Yeah.
Like it's just like they're listening to what I have to say about fucking a bit I do on Family Feud. Like what is going on here? Who am I? Where did I come from? I don't understand our lives.
By the way, I am obsessed with Family Feud. I think it's the greatest show on television. I literally will watch hours and hours and hours of it. I could watch Family Feud to the
Dude.
My favorite thing he does is when he's condescending to a wrong answer. It's my There was a woman on there that goes, the question was...
I don't care what you think of Steve Harvey. I don't care. He's so fucking good.
So good.
I know.
He had one. There was one. A woman goes, he goes, I just love when he's like condescending and he's just like, it's just a little slight. Like he does it just enough. This woman goes, the question was, your favorite, the most popular country to vacation to. Popular country to vacation to.
What state did she say?
No, we're gonna go with Africa, Steve. Africa. and about as quick as he could, he just goes. He turns to the crowd and does the like he does that. Then he looks at camera and does like a head bob, and he turns back. He goes, Janice, your favorite country is Africa. It's Africa, and she goes, we're gonna go with Africa, Steve. He goes, show this woman Africa ain't no country.
Dude, I feel bad because I was talking to Adam Ray like earlier today on this, Family Feud came up and I discussed this, but dude, I feel weird not saying it to you. So first of all, Family Feud, my number one game show of all time, and I'm a game show guy. Actually, dream come true. I have a game show now, but Family Feud I have on my DVR. Keep until I delete.
Yes.
Unlimited eps. I also have the full DVD collection of Richard Dawson. I'm throwback. Shout out. I always say this, but shout out Ray Combs. I think he was like the best at it. But I'll watch Family Feud bloopers for like 2 hours straight. My family, when we have gatherings, we play Family Feud. I used to think of I bought the board game. I host. We split my family into groups. Two or three New Year's Eves ago, we rented a house up in the Catskills. I bought a bald wig, a fucking mustard suit. I played Steve Harvey with my family, and we did Family Feud. Now, 2 weeks ago, I get an email from our PR team that says we got invited on Family Feud.
Amazing.
So I'm going to go out there for charity in March.
Who are you guys playing against? Do you know?
No, nothing. I got this a few days ago. They emailed us and said, you guys want to come out? I thought I had to go with my family, but there's like the four of us. I'm like, who's the fifth? And then like, you could pick anyone you want for the fifth.
Who's going to...
It's like the debate of who will be.
Yeah, who is it going to be?
I don't know, but I'm having This is in March. I'm already having anxiety attacks because I need to play Fast Money. I need to play Fast Money.
Yep.
I do. I have a whole bit on Family Feud, dude. I'm like, am I going to? It's a moment of glory. It's like, give me the ball, man. Because like, am I going to shine and dominate Fast Money like I have done in my life forever, or am I going to choke? You know, and I honestly believe I should go second in Fast Money, and I'll take second because, you know, second they give you 5 extra seconds, but you're behind the 8 ball from the beginning.
Seconds way harder. It's way harder. That's more pressure.
Yeah, my God, because you know all those first answers. If your partner is pulling their weight, they should have taken those.
So
first answers.
You'll agree with me on this because my wife and I yell at the TV every time we watch it together. We watch Family Feud every day, and we yell at the TV every time. And I've tweeted at them because this bothers me.
Tell me what bothers you, because I have something.
Look at.
Tell me, could have done an episode just on Family Feud.
They always tell you what the number 1 answer is, but I have to know what the number 2 answer is. It bothers me. It's so when he goes, number 1 answer was chicken, and you're like, I know, but I need to know what the second answer was because
I need to know it.
If the numbers are close, I need to know what it was. What was number 2?
Yeah, because this is the only way we get satisfaction.
Yes.
My whole bit is it's a 2-pronged bit. Family Feud. I do Prices Right too. I'm heavy on the game shows. First of all, we walk around and we just go about our lives and we lie to each other because we all act like the third round of Family Feud actually means something, and it doesn't. It's triple points, so you could get every single answer right. Everything. The other team doesn't get to go.
Right.
You get 5 bangers, 8 bangers, and you clear the board. You're at 299 because you can't get it with the first 2, and then you make a mistake, you get 3 X's, and one person has to say 1 word on that team to steal round 3.
It's over.
Steal the whole fucking game. It's a problem. It's an inherent problem with the game. The other thing is these people. The game's been on for, it's got to be 40 years. It's got to be 40 years.
Yeah.
They have not changed the final prize money. These people are going on. It's 5 adults. They're playing for 20 grand taxed.
To split, yeah.
Less hotel and airfare. They're losing a couple $100 each to go on Family Feud and dominate. And then when they win Fast Money, they get up there and celebrate like they won the fucking lottery. The women kick their heels off. Fucking Steve Harvey's doing the Dougie. The guys like the celebration does not match the winnings.
True.
It's so they're all winning. It's 20 grand 5. So they're winning 4,000 less taxes. And by the way, I don't know if you know this, but I do. When you win a prize money, tax is in the 50% bracket. So now they're down to 2,000 each. Right. Now hotel and airfare. Guess who's not putting you up? Family Feud.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to guess it. If I stumped you, I'm sorry.
No.
So now you got unless you're flying Spirit and staying at a Comfort, you spend at least $500-600 on hotel and airfare. You're going home with $1,000 at the end of that thing. You dominated. What is $1,000? I mean, it's a paycheck, but like, I don't know, man. They need to up that.
You're
shit.
right. Well, that's always bothered me. It's the same thing that's bothered me about Jeopardy. And rest in peace, Alex, R.I.P. I love Jeopardy, but it drives me insane that if you win, you get a fuckload of money. You get to keep all the money. Second place gets 2,000, and third place gets 1,000. And you're like, wait, what? What? These are these geniuses. He had 16 grand. Right? He gambled and he lost four grand. You're not going to let him keep any of it. You're just going to give him $1,000. Sponsored by Advil. It's always like a sponsor. $1,000 from Advil. No, give me the fucking money.
Steaming pile of shit.
Yeah.
And I actually am having this debate right now on my own talk show because it's 2 contestants, and I found that only now in season 3 that the person who wins, the other person doesn't keep their money up to that point.
What?
I was like, what are you talking about? Like, we're playing, our final round is for 30,000 max.
Yeah.
And that might not, well, it's more than fucking Family Feud splits 20 grand among 5 grown
people. Yeah.
So we're doing 30 grand for a person. And when you're in that like hot seat, like when they pick you to go to the finals, like these people, like $30,000 is life-changing money.
100%.
You feel that. Like, it's all on the up and up, and they could go home with zero. And sometimes they'll turn and they'll be like, I want purses. I want to buy new purses. And you're like, all right, whatever. But sometimes they'll turn to you and be like, I've had this prosthetic leg for so long. And you're like, oh my fucking God. I feel it in my sack. I'm like, I almost get tears in my. I cried on season 3 on this show. I cried because someone was like, I haven't seen my mom in like a decade, and I want to fly to see her, and we won the money. I just started bawling on the show. It's like it's out of place. I should not be crying on the game show, but I did. It's like it gets heated. Like you actually care for these people, and so now I'm trying to reverse the whole thing and make sure that the loser gets the money that
you need it because you know what, my least favorite game show does it. Wheel of Fortune is my least favorite, and they give those people get to keep whatever their money, right? I think they get whatever. I think they get to keep whatever money they earn. Isn't that right? Maybe I'm wrong.
How? I don't know. I don't watch
them because I don't like Wheel of Fortune.
Watch some game shows. I don't watch Wheel of Fortune either.
It's trash.
But my grandparents, when I lived with my grandparents, we used to watch it a lot. Do you go way back with Wheel of Fortune? Do you remember the old Wheel of Fortune before they had like really?
Here's why. Before they had. My grandmother is obsessed with it. My grandmother's obsessed because my grandfather used to play crosswords every day. In fact, I put up a picture online. And I said to somebody, yeah, my papa, he was always in the kitchen and he'd be smoking with coffee and playing, the crosswords in a newspaper. And sure enough, I got a photo the other day of him. I'm at the firehouse in Chicago with him. He's playing a crossword puzzle. They were obsessed with puzzles, like word puzzles like that. Obsessed. But I never got into it. I never loved Wheel of Fortune. Like my grandmother watched it incessantly. She loved it. She loved that and ice skating. That's all my grandmother watched. Ice skating. She loved ice skating.
Wheel of Fortune used to come on like 7:30, right before like the good sitcoms.
Yeah,
and I used to live downstairs from my grandparents, on my mom's side, and so I'd go upstairs and we'd watch Wheel of Fortune, and then we'd watch the Yankee game on WPIX Channel 11, and then right after we'd watch syndicated Jeffersons. So the Jeffersons is my favorite show of all time.
Really?
Yeah, me and my grandparents used to watch it every single night at 11 o'clock, and I went to bed right after. But Sherman Hemsley's like my hero. So. But with Wheel of Fortune, the old ones, if you remember this, before they had like $25,000 or like they used to, you had to take your cash. You couldn't go home with cash. You had to take your money, and they had on like a fucking like a 50-foot Lazy Susan. It would turn, and it was just products.
Yeah,
and it was like a sofa, a washer dryer, like whatever, and it had a price tag on it.
Right.
As it spun, you'd have to just buy shit from them.
Right.
Which, when you think about it now, is like, give me the money.
Yeah.
What?
I want the money.
It's relegated to whatever was on the Lazy Susan. And what happened inevitably, if you remember this, but OGs do, is that there was only one prize under $100. So when you depleted your money, the only thing that you could buy, you weren't allowed to have leftover money. Right. So they would always go, and with my last $60, it was like a thing. They go, I'll take the Dalmatian. Right. It was a statue of a Dalmatian. It was like $70, and they used to like just buy. Like, I'll take the lawnmower, I'll take the blender, and then at the end they'd be like, "And I'll take the Dalmatian." And it was just a fucking it was just a statue of a fucking dog.
It's so funny. It's so funny because they knew that they were like, "Look, we can't give these people money. We're just gonna give them a limited amount of options of shit that they don't fucking need."
Treated them like children.
Yeah. You can't trust these idiots with fucking money. No. We got to tell them what to have. You're getting a washer whether you like it or not. Well, that was always what blew my mind is I learned that The Price is Right. The Price is Right will give you. So if you decide to get a product or whatever, you know about this, right?
Yes, I do.
Because they had to start telling people people were selling off stuff, and it was.
I think I know what you're going to say.
It became a big issue that they were selling off products. So it was, you can take the cash instead of the product, but it's not only is it taxed, it's taxed for a game show tax, a state tax, a licensing tax. So there's all these taxes. A friend of a friend won something big, and he was like, I'll just take the cash. And it was like 20% of what he was supposed to get. And he was like, well, this is how they do it. They sucker you to being like, oh, you should take the product. Because they didn't fucking pay for it. It was free. So they don't want to give you cash. No, they want to take the product.
Out of college, I worked at Prudential Securities in Manhattan. I was at for like 4 or 5 years. And a friend of mine at a lunch break dropped her name in a raffle at the Bull over in like Wall Street, like the big fucking Bull.
Right.
Yeah. So there was like they were giving away a Jaguar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like today. We're giving it away today. And she dropped her name in it. Came back from lunch. We're sitting around. We're in the office, sitting in our cubicles. She gets a call. She won the Jaguar.
No way.
She won a brand new Jaguar, and it was like $60,000. And they were like, if you take the Jaguar, you have to pay the taxes on it.
Of course.
So she took the cash payout less the taxes.
Right.
But
right.
That's when I learned of that kind of thing. We were like, what? So people can't afford. Think about that sentence. I can't afford to win the prize.
Right. Right. It's insane.
What?
Well, that's what happened with ABC. Got in a lot of trouble because that Extreme Home Makeover show. I don't know if you remember that. You know that move that bus.
Move the bus.
Move that. Right.
Pennington.
They got in so much trouble.
Tears. You talk about tears.
Right. Yes, I know. They lace him up. They're like, and she's a vet, and her dad died, and also her cousin got into a car accident, and she donated her kidney. Like they give you the sobbiest story. It's unfucking real, and you're just like, give these.
She's got one limb, and the new 3-limb technology we're gonna give her.
They got in so much trouble because they were giving people such big houses upgrades, they couldn't pay the taxes after the houses were reassessed. So after they came out and reassessed the worth of these homes, they couldn't afford them anymore. It was so expensive.
They were taking them away from them?
So what happened was, this went public. You can Google this. A woman kind of spoke publicly about it. The production was like, oh boy, we better fix this problem. This isn't good. We're leaving people basically in the hole, right?
Yeah.
And so essentially from that point forward, this is years ago, and the show would then continue. They started, if you noticed, because I used to like to watch the show, they would go, and Ty Pennington would be, and so-and-so charity is going to take care of the taxes on the house for X number of years or whatever. They started talking about it openly on the show because they were, because they got called out for their shit. They were like, and so-and-so insurance is going to pay for the next 15 years so you can live here happily with your family and your mom and your dad, all this shit.
They're like, you're on the clock. 10 years.
100%. But you knew they had to because they got called out, because essentially that is the weirdest thing. You can't afford to win. It was like they can't afford the upgrades they can't afford that on that new house. It's money they never had.
You're pulling them because they're less fortunate, and then like, just pay taxes on this $300,000 home.
Right. It's impossible. You're pulling them into a category they can't be in.
I mean, I used to cry. There wasn't I can't watch an episode of that without crying. Undercover Boss, I cry sometimes.
Love that show. Love that show.
You get welled up. I get welled up. I don't care. I think it should be
Men should be allowed to well up about that. You know what makes me cry every time though? It's always kids stuff. If it's a little sad kid thing, I'm gonna lose my shit. It's Cheerios, fucking Cheerios had a commercial. My wife laughs because she cries at the drop of a hat about everything else, but commercials and shit. She's like, I can't believe you're crying at a fucking commercial. I cry at commercials all the time.
Me too.
She cries about real life issues. I cry about fucking commercials.
You're so right. It's so true. It's hard for me to shed a tear in real life, but like
I don't.
Yeah, I know, it's funny.
But Cheerios had a commercial. I'll never forget. They'll probably play it again now for the holidays. This little boy, he's got like a chipped tooth, his little fucking ugly teeth. He's cute as shit. His dumb little haircut, and he's eating Cheerios. And he says, "Mom, did you eat Cheerios with Grandma when you were a little girl?" And Mom says, "Yeah, honey, I did." And he says he goes down to the fucking bowl. He looks up with these cute, beautiful big eyes, and he goes, "So when we have Cheerios together, it's kind of like we're having Cheerios with Grandma too." And the mom like rubs his head and is like, "That's right, buddy. That's right, we are." And I was like, "Get the fuck out of here, Cheerios!" Just losing my shit because of Cheerios.
Yeah. It's oats, and I'm crying.
No, I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm not afraid to admit it.
How are you with watching yourself on TV, movie, like things that you do? Like, do you watch it? Can you watch yourself?
No way. It gives me anxiety.
So you don't go watch. You don't watch yourself at all. Like even in like out of cure. Like I've seen myself, but the thing is with I'm like, when I'm on another show, I'll watch it, but my own show, like I'm already editing it myself too. Like I've seen it, so I'm not watching it, but I only focus on the things I hate, the choices I made that I hate.
That's what I do. Oh yeah, incessantly. I can't do it. I can't watch. It gives me anxiety. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I really get nervous. I really can't. I don't enjoy it.
Still, like you've been around the block. Like you've landed big roles. You've been on like in scenes with like prominent other people. Like you are like just as much in that scene as you are in this scene. I'm someone who, if I'm doing it myself, I know what I want from it, and I know if I know what my intentions are, then I have a confidence. Other than that, though, my confidence is low, and if I'm anywhere out of my comfort zone or trying something new, I am like gravely insecure about it. To the point where, like, if I was acting and stuff, I would do it, but I would be so insecure. Like, when you're on set, like, after you get past the initial butterflies, like, is that something that sits with you every day, or when do you gain the confidence? Like, like, when are you like, this is my job, I belong here, I know these people, they think I belong here, I'm happy with my choices, like, I'm adding to this project? Do you feel those feelings? Like, how long does it take to come? Like,
I think I did. I felt, this, not to sound like
this is my podcast now.
Yeah. Let me answer. I think my first sitcom, I learned a lot, and I think when I learned so much about my levels of being comfortable with myself and my skill and my ability, and it also made me. I'm not a classically trained actor. I'm a dumb guy. I'm a stupid guy who is a stand-up who's lucky enough to be an actor, and I know it, and they know it, and I'm cool with it. And it's like, dude, I'm the lowest rung. I'm the first thing. So I think I'm so comfortable, and I have no jitters or butterflies with that because it's a mutual. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not
because the reason I even ask is because the first time I became familiar with you, I instantly liked I liked your stand up, and I kind of like really dug like just the way you carry yourself. And then we met, and we were at festivals, and we might have even done some stuff together. And I always note like how confident you are on stage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's undeniable confidence. So like, that's something I envy, because I always talk about this, but even, I'm comfortable. I'm good on stage, but like, I see younger comics or new kids or even open micers like that have this confidence that I didn't have then.
Same.
And I'm just wondering, like, you're so confident on stage, does it translate over to that? And like, do you achieve that same kind of, because you have to believe that you belong there and are contributing in a meaningful way, right? Otherwise you wouldn't keep doing it.
Right. I've always felt pretty confident on stage, and I was good young with my confidence, but it's only because I never really thought it was gonna. I never had the idea that it was like gonna work out or not work out. Like, I was just like, I'm gonna go do it, and I'm not gonna give a fuck. I think I didn't give a fuck at a young age about if all the other comics loved it or if it was a perfect set. I was just like, I'm gonna keep trugging along at this thing, and it'll figure itself out. And then the pressures get bigger as you get to grow, and your audience gets bigger, and then you get a little bit more anxious. I'm more anxious now when I have big shows to do, but when it comes to TV stuff, I'm not nervous at all unless I'm performing with somebody who I am that I respect a shitload. Like when I did.
Give me an example, yeah.
Well, when I did Curb this past year.
Dude, that's another thing I saw you.
I was nervous as shit.
My fucking shit. I'm like, you're in everything now.
I was nervous. I'm not even gonna pretend. I was so fucking nervous with Larry because it's Larry. If it was anybody else,
it's soft scripted too, right? So you had to just bring.
Oh yeah, he just.
But that's a dream. You did everyone's dream. But that is without a doubt, hands down. Ask me anything, any show, any role, any movie, anything. It's what you did. It's that.
Yeah, that's my. I mean, it was like that to me was the pinnacle. Because working with someone that I love and respect, that I really truly think is a comedic genius, it made me nervous. No.
Did you get to talk to him before the scene?
Yeah, I
auditioned for him.
Yeah, with him. Yeah, me and him, and then it just helped a lot because Jeff Garland was there and he knew me, and it was just kind of like it made Larry feel comfortable. But Larry was very nice to me and said some very nice things that I'll hold dear in my heart. And It was amazing that to make him laugh, to make him break was the greatest feeling on planet Earth. It was like, I beat the game. You know, it's like I beat the last boss.
Dude, it's over. You did it already.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, it's funny. Like after that, how could you be nervous then? Like, how could you be nervous?
Well, unless it's somebody that I hugely respect. Like I'm not someone who. First of all, my wife makes fun of me because I'm stupid with like famous people. Like I always ask, I'm like, who is that girl? What's her name? And she's like, dude, every fucking time we see it's Emma Stone. I'm like, right. And I never remember. I'm really bad. So if they could be sitting next to me, I would never fucking know. And which is kind of embarrassing. I should know sometimes, but famous people don't do it to me like little heroes of mine. Like Larry was a hero. You know, like he's a fucking hero of mine. So
100%.
Like who else would make me nervous would be you know, I think Ed O'Neill would make me nervous because I was upset. Like your Jeffersons was my Married with Children. I was obsessed, and I was obsessed because it was people I knew. Married with Children was basically Chicago families that I knew. It was exactly like people I knew. It was like, oh, these are just blue collar families that's my family. I know all these people. So, you know, in the dirty mouth and all that stuff, I come from a line of filthy mouth people and it just felt so normal. And, you know, and I also love that it was so naughty that America was angry about it. I was like, I fucking love this show. I love that people are like, it's gross. I'm like, oh.
All I remember about that was like, it was like maybe 1990 and it was Fox just launched.
Yeah.
And it took the world by storm, that show.
Yeah. I mean, people were so mad.
Else before it. Yeah, I remember.
People wrote letters saying how appalling it was. And how brash and gross and rude it was. I mean, dude, you watch it now, it's fucking tame. It's so tame. It was just, for the time, they were saying shit that like joking couples would say to one another, but it was naughty. And which is weird because there'd been television before that pushed the limits, you know, but I just think, like Archie Bunker broke all the rules, and for some reason, it was okay. I don't know why people hated Married with Children so much, you know?
Right. That makes sense. Did you see how they redid like the All in the Family Jeffersons episode, the live?
Yeah.
Pretty freaking wild that they did that.
It's awesome. Why can't I say his name? That produced
Woody
it.
Harrelson?
No, that produced it.
Yeah. Carl, is it Carl?
Carl? No, not Carl Reiner.
Oh yeah, the most famous. He did every one of those shows.
Yes, and I can see him. I see him right now.
I mean, he actually said a little something up top, and I was like, he's alive.
I know, dude. He's like 92 years old. Wait, and I see his face, and I see his face, and I see his face.
I know the name too, man. I'm bad.
Emma Stone. It's Emma Stone. He did all of them. Yeah, Emma Stone did all of them. Yeah. No, that to me is
kill me.
Yeah, we'll never get it. It'll just
text you later.
yeah, text me later, and text me the Jordan video. I won't show it.
The Jordan video was on like 6 phones ago, which means it's probably in my cloud.
I got it.
You'll get it. You won't get it tonight.
That's fine.
I just gotta go locate the trip. That's all.
All right, good. Well, brother, I love you. I appreciate you doing this. Honestly, I respect you. I think you're a great performer, a great dude.
Thanks, man.
You have the world going for you, and it's not going to stop anytime soon, unless, of course, those allegations come out about you kissing me when I didn't want it, and I didn't want it. Montreal, you remember backstage you kissed me? I said no. You said, come on, baby boy, and I gave in because you're so cute, but I think you're going to have the rest of your career is going to continue to be incredible, and I'm happy for you, and I really do love you.
Thank you. I echo those sentiments. I mean, genuinely and fully, man. You're the man. I love you. I admire you. I love your stuff. Always love when we get to chop it up, hang out, talk, all that stuff. And
thank you, brother.
Do it more, man.
Me too, man. As soon as this thing ends, I'm sure I'll see more of you because I owe New York a trip. And in the meantime, everyone that's listening, please do yourself a favor. Go listen to one or both of his podcast. They're both very good on the No Presh Network. No Presh YouTube. Is it youtube.com? No Presh? Is that what it is?
No Presh Network.
No Presh Network. Go and watch. It's funny. It's very funny, and great to see you, bro. And I appreciate you again. Cheers to you. One last cheers.
Cheers, brother. Thank you. We'd love to have you on, and don't come to New York without hitting me up too.
No, of course. And hey, we end the episode the same way.
Okay.
I want you to look in the camera. I'm going to walk away. You're going to say one word or one phrase. It's going to end the episode, but I have to be off camera. So you look right into camera and say one word.
You driving that out? One word or one phrase?
Yeah, and it ends the episode. So go ahead when you're ready.
Minute on the lips, lifetime on the hips.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
You're that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.